We all know that we need to make changes in order to improve our lives, but often we find ourselves stuck in the same cycle over and over. The thing is, intentional living can be hard, but it's not impossible. Do you feel like you're just going through the motions day by day by day by day? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to live intentionally and get the most out of your life. If you're new to our channel, this is Dr. Dwayne Wood. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. And here on our channel, we help to educate, we help to empower, and we help to encourage you to take charge of your life, take charge of your health, avoid complications, and live a healthy life, going to that next level. You've caught us. What is day 31? Day 31, live every day in August. We have been having such a wonderful time, and we're dealing with the subject, designing a new me, designing a new me. How do we design a better version of ourselves? That's what we've been talking about the last 30 days, and today is going to be day number 31. So you've caught us. If you've not done so, if you've been with us and you haven't watched all the other videos, oh man, you got to go back. You got to go back and take a look at those, because it has been a wonderful, wonderful, transforming. That's the word I'm going to use, right? Transforming month as I have been sharing this information with you. I've been looking at my own life, right? So we're in this together, right? All of us are learning and all of us are growing. If you are new to the channel, go ahead and put new in the comments, because we would love to welcome you to this platform. We'd love to welcome you to the community, give you a hand clap and some music. So we'd love to do that for you and to say hello, welcome to this channel. If you are watching this on the replay, please put hashtag replay in the comments, in the chat, and hashtag Dwayne Wood MD. Even if you're watching it right now, go ahead and put Dwayne Wood MD hashtag in front of that. Share this with your family and friends. Let them know that we are here, what we're doing, and they got to go back and watch some of these videos. I'll talk a little bit more about the end, about what's going to happen to them as we get to the end of the show. Well, why don't we jump right in and let's start talking. Let's start talking about our subject tonight. So intentional living. Intentional living. We all have things that we would love to change about ourselves. But sometimes it can be tough to take that first step. Whether it's finally quitting smoking or getting in shape, making lasting changes can be challenging. So we have to be intentional about what we do so that those changes can stay. So the question is, if we know that we want to make change and those changes have to happen, what is it that really holds us back? What are some of the things that hold us back from making those changes? And so let's take a look at those real quick. So here's a list, and there are so many others, and we're just going to deal with a couple of them as we go through. I said a couple, but actually 5 or 6 of them as we go through this discussion. But there's so many more things, right? Number one, we are busy. We're busy. All of us have lives that are full. In fact, when I think about our schedule, there's my schedule, there's my wife's schedule, there's my son's schedule, there's our schedule together. And it seems like we're always going, always on the go. And finding time to focus on our personal goals can be challenging, to say the least. When we're feeling stressed and busy and overwhelmed, it even gets harder. And it's sometimes just easier to say, okay, yeah, I'll do that later. And easier to stick with the status quo. So busy. We find ourselves that we are busy. Also, we are comfortable, right? We are in our comfort zone. It can be comfortable to just stay where you are because you don't have to think about it. You don't have to move. You don't have to make any plans. You don't have to come up with a schedule. And even if you're not happy with the situation, sometimes people will just stay, right? Because it is comfortable to be right where they are. Next, we struggle with fear. We struggle with fear. And, you know, the fear can come in lots of different forms. There's fear of failure. Is it going to work out if I want to make this change? Whatever the change may be. And we've talked about a lot of changes over the course of this month, right? We've talked about changes in our thought, changes in how we relate to other people. We've talked about changes in how we relate to our health. So lots of different changes. So is it going to work? The fear of failure. And then there's the fear of the unknown. The fear of the unknown is a huge one because we don't know what's coming. When we talked about managing stress, part of stress, part of the surge that we get in those stress hormones is the unknown. So if we are afraid of the unknown, right, and it's comfortable, oh yeah, let's just stay here. Let's not make any changes. We all want to be successful. But sometimes the fear of not being successful just holds us back. Yeah, fear. This next one, imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome. And this has to do with fear as well, but in a different form. Or imposter syndrome and negative self-talk. So imposter syndrome is the fear of being exposed as a fraud. Now, here's the interesting thing about this. People are in situations that they are qualified to be in. They do their work, but there's still this insecurity in them that they shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be sitting at the table. That they haven't earned the right to be there. And it's almost like, oh, if they found out that I really don't know or really didn't do or really, right? There's this fear that you're going to be made out to be a fraud. And even though you've achieved success, we still feel like, okay, we're just waiting for that shoe to drop, right? To be found out. And this can be paralyzing because imagine all the energy that it takes to guard against that, right? Because you're always very, very vigilant, right? Unless somebody's going to find something out about you. Even if there's nothing to find out. And it holds us back. I'm putting me in there. It holds us back from achieving goals. Because sometimes you don't want to put yourself out there, because if you put yourself out there and something happens, then now, quote unquote, all the story comes out. And then negative self-talk. That's the way we talk about ourselves. Oh, nothing ever works out for me. I'm not going to try that because, usually that doesn't go well. Or I can't do that thing. Or I don't know how I'm going to understand this. Oh, I'm so stupid. Why didn't I think of that? Notice the words. Remember, we talked about the fact that our position, our thoughts, are really a conclusion or an answer to a question that we've asked. So if we ask the question, why are we so dumb? Why are we so stupid? Why can't we ever get ahead? Then the answer that comes back is going to be in that same vein. Negative self-talk. And then sometimes one of the things that holds us back is the lack of knowledge, expertise, and confidence. Lack of knowledge, expertise, and confidence. So if we are not sure, or there's something that we want to do, we want to make a change in ourselves. And remember, we're talking about designing a better version of ourselves. So if we don't have the knowledge to do that, we say, oh yeah, I've got to learn how to do that, and I'll learn that later. I don't have the experience to do that, so I've got to spend some time in that area. I've got to spend some time doing that. I've got to spend some time trying that. I'm going to just put my toe in it. People say that all the time, right? I'm going to try it out. and notice once again the words, I'm going to try it out, which is to say that, okay, I'm making allowance that it won't work. And if it doesn't work, then, okay, we can go back to something else. And then we lack confidence. Now, all of these that we're talking about, all of these can be different lessons, can be different videos, can be different books, all by themselves. Right? How to build confidence. A huge one. And then the next thing that kind of holds us back is procrastination and perfectionism. So either we are wanting to get everything perfect. I shouldn't say either. We want to get everything perfect. And if we can't get it perfect, then we don't do it right now. You see the thought process there? It has to be 100% perfect. And because it's only 99% perfect, I can't do it. And nothing is ever 100%, right? So therefore, we don't do it. And so we're held back. And that leads to procrastination. And sometimes procrastination is the mountain that we've built up in our head. Like, oh, there's this mountain of stuff I got to do. This big change I've got to make. And we've talked about chunking, right? So breaking stuff up into smaller segments so that they're not so overwhelming. And if they're not, then the body, the mind says, okay, yeah, let's go do that. But we would much rather do something else that's simpler, that doesn't really lead us to the goal, but because it's easier, we're going to do that. And we'll come back to this other thing later. And then the final thing in this list, right? Once again, there are so many other things that we can put on this list. But in this list, comparisonitis. Is that a word? What does that mean, though? That means that you are comparing your journey with somebody else's. And because you are not as far on the journey, on the road as that person or those people, then we're not going to do anything. Keeping up with the Joneses. And I always ask myself, who are the Joneses, by the way? Right? Who are they? And why is everybody trying to keep up with them? Right? But we're comparing ourselves to other people. And because our walk, our journey so far is not like theirs, then yeah, obviously we can't do that. So those are some of the things that hold us back. But what are some reasons why we should give it a chance? Right? Why are some reasons that we should give this process a chance? Number one, it can help us break out of our comfort zones. We just talked about that, right? We get so comfortable that we don't do anything. So giving this process a chance, being intentional in our living, allows us to break out of that. It can lead to new and exciting experiences. It can help us meet new people and expand our social circles. And after all, connection is one of the reasons that we do what we do. One of the reasons that we are redesigning ourselves. Next, it can introduce us to new ideas and perspectives. It can help us learn new skills and grow this neuroplasticity that we talk about. Right? Keeping our minds fresh. After all, our lives, right, are to be lived with quality. And so having ideas, being able to learn new things, it challenges us to help us grow as a person. Right? This is why we're talking about why do we give this a chance? It can open up new possibilities in our lives. Next, it can help us to create positive changes in our community. Oh, wow. Love that one, right? Love that one. Positive changes in our community. We are community-built beings. We are built for community. Here's an interesting one, right? With talking about the community. So challenges or changes can be contagious. Changes can be contagious. One person does it and somebody else sees it and says, hey, he did it, I can do it. When we make positive changes, it's a ripple effect through the community. And it impacts the lives of the people around us, the people that we love, the people we care about. It inspires them to make changes in their own life. So we're talking about reasons why we need to live intentionally, why we need to make changes. Right? So we just talked about the things that are holding us back. So these are some reasons, some incentives why we should pursue changes. It can make us live happier and more fulfilled lives. Right? So when we talk, we said, hey, we are working, we are educating, we are empowering, we are encouraging you. Take charge of your health, take charge of your life. Go to that next level, live the life you've always wanted. That fulfilling life, that's where that comes in. And then change is inevitable. It's going to happen. Change is going to happen. But we've said that we're not just letting things happen anymore, right? We're not just letting life happen to us. What we're doing is we are taking charge. And no matter how we resist, change is going to happen. So let's make change happen on our terms. Use it. Embrace it. Let it work for us. Change is essential for survival. Things that don't change die. We talked about that. Stagnant. Things that are stagnant will die. And if we don't change, we run the risk of becoming extinct and inconsequential. And when we live life intentionally, it increases our income and our influence. Well, I love those two. When you are living life intentionally, when you are taking charge of life, when you are no longer letting life just happen to you, the value of your life goes up. The value of you goes up. People see you differently. You act more confidently. You're more sure of yourself. That translates into better income and better influence. But if you're not happy with your life, if you're always sour, if you're always, right, then that doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. So those are reasons why we should give this process a chance. So how do we live intentionally? Number one, stop living in fear. And we talked about that. Fear of failure, fear of the imposter syndrome, fear of future, right? So stop living in fear. We often allow fear to control our lives. And it directs what we do and what we don't do because we're afraid. But what are we really afraid of? Is it failure that we won't do what we won't succeed? Is it fear of rejection? Is it fear of the unknown? Is it fear of what people are going to say? Understand that fear is nothing more than an illusion, right? Because it's in our head. We've created the meaning to whatever that is. Remember, 2,000 signals coming into our mind? We can't process all of that, so we create the meaning for those things. And just like we created the meaning, and that we fear that, we can change that. It was created right here. One of the best ways to live intentionally is to live not in a place of fear. Taking charge of what needs to be done. The next one is setting goals. Setting goals and living on purpose. What do you want to achieve? It's important to have a clear understanding, a clear vision for yourself Otherwise, you don't know where you're going to end up, and you end up just living in that hamster wheel. So you dream the dreams that you need. Set the goals, and let's go for it. And we're going to live on purpose. We're going to follow those goals, those steps that we've created. Once you know what those goals are, that means making choices. Come on now. Making choices that align with the goals that you've set and the values. That is living on purpose and taking actions and steps that will help you achieve that. And when you are living on purpose, not only are you saying yes to the right things, but you're also saying no to the wrong things. The wrong things for you. That doesn't mean that those things are bad. This means that they are not helping me head in the direction that I need to go. And if that's the case, no, I don't want that. That's not what I need. I'm heading somewhere else. I'm heading somewhere else. And then simplify your life. Simplify your life. One of the best ways to live intentionally is to simplify. Get rid of anything that you don't need, that doesn't serve your purpose. That means decluttering. That means getting rid of any unwanted possessions. That means streamlining your schedule. That means saying no to things, not overcommitting. See how that falls into so many different categories? Simplify. Because if you're simplifying, you don't have all these things that now you've got to go take care of. Next, be mindful of your thoughts. Be mindful of your thoughts. Oh, our thoughts have the power to improve our lives, or it has the power to make them miserable. So it's important to be intentional about what we're thinking, how we're talking to ourselves, the words that we use. If we're constantly dwelling on negative thoughts, it's only going to lead to more negativity. But if we focus on positivity and empowering thoughts, then it leads to positive changes in our lives. I read somewhere in a book, the Bible, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And what it's saying is whatever's here is what we become. That's what we see. That's what we follow after. The thing that we focus on is where we end up. So being intentional means controlling, harnessing our thoughts. That leads to, come on now, let me get to this. That leads to the fact that now we have got to be careful of the things that we put into our minds. Anything that will cause us to have negative thoughts, go down the rabbit hole, anything that's going to cause us to fall into a trap of negativity, we got to get rid of. I think I've told you guys before about a show I used to watch. And it was a good show. It was very exciting. I had to get away from it because I was so caught up in the show, right? In the characters. And there's one character that was one of the star, and he was very negative. And I found myself with those thoughts in my head. So yeah, I had to stop. So be mindful of your thoughts. Show gratitude. Show gratitude. Wow. When we are grateful, it brightens our outlook. We find something to be thankful for in situations that a lot of people would say, okay, that's a negative situation. When you open your eyes in the morning, be grateful that you opened your eyes. Sometimes I'll talk to people and I say, hey, how are you doing? They say, oh, I'm here. And for me being here, first of all, being here, being able to hear the person say I'm here and know that they're talking to me, know that I'm in my right mind. I mean, all this, I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful for the things that are around me, for the people around me, for my family, for food. When I do my journal, it says, what are you grateful for today? I list my family, health, waking up, sleep. I think I'm grateful for sleep. When you're grateful, when you're feeling gratitude, it eases everything. It's easier to see all the blessings that you have. And it helps you to focus not on the negative things, but on the positive things. So being grateful. Invest in relationships. Invest in relationships is the next one. We're talking about how to live intentionally. Invest in relationships. The people we surround ourselves with have a huge impact on our lives. So it's important to invest in relationships that are positive and supportive. Yep. And you may be thinking of somebody right now, right? And you know, going back to all of these that we talk about, there are some people that you're around that are negative. They're not grateful for anything. They have a negative mindset. They don't have positive thoughts. And that's a relationship you need to really consider whether that's the relationship that's going to take you where you need to be. So invest in quality relationships. And then take care of yourself. We did a couple videos on health and wellness, right? Take care of yourself. One of the most important things you can do is to take care of your physical body, your mental body, your emotional thoughts. When you're healthy and happy, you're better able to live intentionally and make choices that are aligned with your goals, with your values, with your statement for your life. But if you're ill and not feeling good, then it's so much easier to just stay where you are because it's comfortable. You don't have any energy anyway, right? Because you're not physically well. So take care of the body. So that's how you live intentionally. Stop living in fear and be present. Set goals and live on purpose. Simplify your life. Be mindful of your thoughts. Show gratitude. Invest in relationships and take care of yourself. Each of us has the potential to lead a truly remarkable life. We have the ability to achieve great things, to make real differences in the world. And yet so often we let fear hold us back. We allow our doubts and insecurities to keep us from reaching our full potential. And it's time for us to get away from that. It's time for us to say, no, I am in charge. You can do it. And that's what we just went through. Follow those steps. Take time. Sit. Walk through them. Maybe get somebody to sit with you and say, okay, how are we doing in this area? Come up with a plan. Because we're designing a better version of ourselves, designing a new me. And if we're going to do that, we've got to be intentional about it. Man, I have totally been excited about this month, guys. If you've been coming along with us, thank you for following us. Thank you for watching the videos. I can't tell you how much that I've grown. I was on I'm in a group that we do some videos, and we've been doing one a day for the last month as well. And one of the guys in the group said that 5, 6, 7, 10 years from now, he's going to look back and he's going to say that one of the significant things in his life was that month. And I'm going to tell you all that I'm going to say one of the significant things in my life was this month. Because the videos that we've done, the topics that we've covered, the impact I think that we're having has been amazing as we design a better version of ourselves. That's what this channel is all about. That's what we do. We educate, we empower, we encourage, because we want to go to the next level. We want to walk with you to the next level. All that we do is with that intention. And as we get into the new season, you'll be seeing that idea that we are in the process of growing ourselves and learning with you as we do so many of the things that we're gonna be doing over the next season. Our content, the visitors that we're going to be bringing on, the new videos that we're going to be putting out, the new offerings that we're going to have, going to that next level. We are planning to curate these videos. We're going to put them, all of them are not going to stay up on YouTube. So go back and watch them. Watch the ones that you need to. Right? They're going to be housed in a different spot, and we will let you know where those are and how you can access them. We have our mindset coaching program. It is how do we achieve some of the goals that we talked about in each of the videos. We would love to connect with you. Go to our website and click there to work with me. We would love to be part of your journey as you are improving, as you are growing, as you are changing, as you're designing. We'll have a master class that's coming up in September. Keep an eye out for that information on how you can become a part of that. And we will sit together and walk through a couple of the concepts. And you can ask me questions. We'll be able to talk to each other. Right? So keep an eye out for that. I'm just so excited. It's the end of the month. The last day, the last video that we're going to be doing live every day in August 2022 is coming to an end. But it doesn't have to be the end for our journey together. Come back to the channel, watch the videos as we do the show. We do the live show every Monday, 7 p.m. Every Monday, by the way, except this coming Monday. We will be taking a break for this coming Monday. All right, but we will be back the following Monday, right here, talking and enjoying and learning and encouraging and empowering all the things that we do. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for spending the time for this month. Yes, 31 videos in 31 days. Really appreciate all of you that have been here. This is Dr. Dwayne Wood. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. And we are educating, we are empowering, and we're encouraging you. Take charge of your life. Take charge of your health. Live the life you've always wanted. Avoid complications and go to the next level. Good night. Thank you for being here. We'll see you in 2 weeks, right? So not this Monday, but the following Monday, we'll be back. Bye-bye.